Fantasy Philosophers is brought to you by fantasy-info.com.
Average is the word that comes to mind to me when you talk about the Colts defense for fantasy. Really, they were 8th against in total points, the 8th best. That's good, but they were 14th against the pass, 24th against the runs, very average, 34 sacks, average, and about 30 total takeaways, and that's relatively average for the last season. This team is getting some good get-backs this off-season as they went out. Looks like they're going to retain Bob Sanders. They really didn't have him all last season, so that is a good thing to help the secondary. Probably he won't be necessarily a starter, but even bringing him in different spots, that it can only help. This is a guy who was a former, defensive MVP, and obviously he was instrumental in their run for the Super Bowl championship. So he can definitely help in the pass and the run. Other things that I like about this what they did is their draft. They went out and took their first 3 picks and they used them all for defense. They got themselves a defensive end, a linebacker, and a cornerback. Those are good, and then those are upgrades and help for depth in all of those 3 phases of the defense. You have to like that, but they're still not going to be a defense that you're necessarily going to be wanting to start in most fantasy weeks. They can be somewhat productive, especially if Mathis, Freeney, and maybe some other guys in that rotation, they're having one of those seasons where they're getting a lot of sacks and whatnot. But again, only 34 last year. That's not great. You'd like to see them at least in the mid-40s for the reputation that they tend to have. This is a defense, really, they're probably going to be on waiver wires in a lot of leagues, and if you see a certain week or two where you can take advantage of a situation against a bad team, they can definitely give you good production in that regard. But other than that, I wouldn't necessarily say, again, that they're a defense you're going to be wanting to start a lot and holding on to maybe all season long.
For more fantasy football information, go to fantasy-info.com and sign up for our free e-newsletter. Good luck in your 2010 Fantasy Football League. As an added bonus, the Fantasy Info guys will include their 5 secret tips for success in